if I were sitting at home and watching this back and forth, I'd be inclined to turn it off. I mean, people at home want to know, across this country, they want to know what we're going to do to fix this place, how we're going to balance a budget, how we're going to create more economic growth, how we're going to pay down the debt, what we're going to do to strengthen the military. So we've just spent 10 minutes here.
We have a lot of issues coming up,
But
sir.
wait a minute, with a lot of ad hominem. Now, I know that it may be buzzing out there, but I think it's important we get to the issues.
All right, that was 2016 presidential candidate, Ohio Governor John Kasich during tonight's Republican presidential debate. He joins us now from the spin room. You know, actually, there were moments I think I would have tuned out, too, if it wasn't my job, because they were just they were looking for a cat fight most of the time, Governor, and you weren't going to be a part of that.
Well, Sean, I wanted to let people know what my record is, how, I've been able to fight to balance the budget in Washington and get it done and cut taxes and grow jobs, and the same in Ohio, balancing budgets and cutting taxes and strengthening our credit. I mean, all those things are things that I want to talk about, Sean, and a lot of the rest of it is just periphery to me.
You know, there are two issues that have come up recently that I surprisingly find myself in disagreement with you on. One of them came up tonight, and it was about the Iranian deal. And I was surprised by your answer that you wouldn't rip up that agreement on day one for these reasons. During the negotiations and since the deal has been done, they were chanting death to America. They said during the negotiations the destruction of Israel is non-negotiable. Shouldn't it be a precondition they recognize Israel, stop chanting death to America, stop being the #1 sponsor of state terrorism before we ever sit down with them? Because, I don't trust these people. There've got to be preconditions, or I don't see any purpose of sitting down with people like that.
Well, Sean, I mean, look, let me be clear, and I think I was, the second time I came back at all of it, I would never have done this agreement. But most of our allies have signed up to it. And, I think we have to hold Iran accountable. And if you are like I am, which thinks that they're going to be breaking this agreement, then we should slap on the sanctions, get our friends to slap them on.
But they have $150 billion.
Well, no. If they start funding these other, these radical groups, that's another grounds to slap on the sanctions. I don't support them giving any money to Hamas or Hezbollah. The other thing is that, if we have the intelligence, which I believe we will have, according to some of the intelligence experts at the highest levels, and we think they're assembling a nuclear weapon, the military option's absolutely on the table, Sean. So all I'm saying is we don't know what things are going to be like in 18 months. We can say everything we want to say, but at the end of the day, if any of those things get violated, we go back to sanctions, and we're on the moral high ground to talk to our allies about working with us.
I don't
like this deal at all. I don't agree with it.
They get the money up front. They're going to get it almost from day one, and that scares me. But we'll deal with that in another time. The second question is...
But Sean, Okay.
I
was going to say that if they get the money and we determine that they're doing anything to help Hezbollah and Hamas by using that money, I'd pull out of the deal right away. I don't want anybody to be confused about how strongly I feel about this.
Okay. And the other issue is we now have our National Intelligence Director and the State Department saying that ISIS and al-Qaeda will infiltrate the refugee population. And you seem to think that to me is too high a risk. If our intelligence community says that, why do we take anybody into this country knowing that that also comes along with them?
Sean, if our intelligence community tells us it's not safe, then we shouldn't do it. I just want to make sure that the door is open for us to take a look at people who are in distress, who are not part of that, of any of that terrorism or extremism. And if that's the case, then we shouldn't take them in. But I'm just suggesting to you that, look, if they come out and they say there's no way to certify, we don't want to take people into our country who could be radicals. We don't want to do that.
In other words, that you would be open, if that's the case, and that has been stated publicly now, you would support maybe other ways to help the refugees or the genuine refugees.
Yeah. But sometimes people make statements. We just got to make sure that what they're saying is solid, and they say, look, we shouldn't do it. If they say we shouldn't do it, I'm not going to be for doing it.
Yeah. All right, well, the people that said it, by the way, you have a Lebanese official warning the Prime Minister of Great Britain, number one, the National Director of Intelligence, James Clapper, the State Department spokesman, John Kirby. Those are three people that I trust. But anyway, I'm glad you clarified it. Governor, good to see you. Congratulations on the debate tonight. Appreciate you being with us.
Thanks, Sean. See you again soon, I hope.